That's not what you wanted, is it? Sorry about that, everyone. That's 3 minutes of just jazz music that you've had to deal with. But it's only because my insanely hot darling wife is downstairs, having already tucked into her copy of the book. Shares is the first copy. The little one opened the box with Dee and the little one opened it up. The little one was very curious as to what this box was. The little one went in and pulled out the first copy out, and that copy was then Dina's copy. I ran off and scribbled it in it with a Sharpie. But she's been reading it downstairs and is enjoying it. Yes, I am a wife guy, but I'm just saying hello to her for 3 minutes and also getting some fluid. Saved to this PC. What? Weird. Amphitrust time. We have, we have, yes, Harry Harrison's hoping that my wife cools down. Yeah. Very good. Right, so, am I an eternal wife guy? Yes. Do I need to get the music on because there's no music and it's silent? Yes, I do. Spot if. There we go. Spot if. Let's get the music should be the same volume that it was a minute ago. Let's go. Let us go. There it is. There we go. My deck had ignored it for some reason. Let's go. That's going. Marvelous. Adam Buxton voice. My wife. Right. So here we go. So sorry that you've been waiting so long. Yes, apologies, but we're going to get cracking. We are going to get cracking. What did we do last time? Loads of stuff happened. This time we've got a long list of things. The last thing that happened last episode was that Central Bus Group was formed from Midland Omnibus Limited and the Lakeland Bus Company. We're now hitting January of 1967, and we have a variety of bits and pieces going on. What I'm going to do is ram us through to... When am I going to ram us through to? The end of April in this stuff. So we're going to do this stuff first, which is not quite as nice to have the flow of things going on, and particularly when there's quite a lot of, on the tapestry, lots of yellow dates, which mean that it's stuff that happens in a month that I normally will be random based on when I realise I need to pause it in game, and that's how I get the dates and then go back into the tapestry for the final dates. So this is going to be a little bit more, so I'm losing some of that spontaneity, which is a bit sad, but it's making up for the fact that the game is having this hopeless crashy nonsense. So January 67, there's quite a bit going on. Well, not that much actually. There's some things going on that I won't tell you about because there's no assets, but I'll tell you all the asset stuff. So first asset thing is, here it is the Amphitrust Electrical Company, and Allied Products Limited, with a very vividly classic mid-60s logo. Actually, it's probably just the thing that's on the side of the building. They haven't designed a logo. Not everyone designs a logo. These two, actually, the Amphitrust Electrical Company have been kind of trading under their new logo for a little bit of a while, but these two merge, or rather, AEC acquires Allied Products Limited. And this is where we have the new fancy Amphitrust Electrical Company, gone. No longer called Amphitrust Electrical Company. It is just called AEC. And here it is. We've seen some of it we saw some of it in the adverts for the East Coast Electrification. So there we go. Some people recognise this logo. These logos often are a hybrid of the companies that the companies I've got here are a hybrid of, and this is a good example of one. Is AC also manufacturing electric locos? No. I'm trying to remember who is it who is it? Or maybe it is AC who actually have one. There's one. I'm trying to remember. I think maybe it is AC who have a factory down in Flitwick. I can't quite remember. Anyway, in Tanagma. Sorry. Here's me dead naming the cities in Mikrelada. Right. So what else is going on? So that's January. Then we hop forward to some stuff going on in March, which is fun. Now, okay, yeah, this is the key thing in March. First, kind of through at some point in March, I don't exactly know when, at kind of the second half of March, I think, we have a couple of things happen. The first thing that happens is we have publication of a new report from the Ministry of Transport and Logistics and the Amphros Railways Board jointly. It's called Amphros Railways Network for Development, with a foreword by the Minister of Transport and the Chair of Amphros Railways Board. We have this document, and probably it says all sorts of things, but for the most part, it's kind of addressing the fact that the crawl cuts are still ongoing, still having these changes to the network. In some cases, not progressing as speedily as the government would like, and there's one thing that the socialist government had was a kind of its first big public, or sort of its big kind of publicly visible spat was over these cuts to the rail network, and that's caused some harm to the kind of the unity of that of the party, and with the fact that there are now ostensibly moving into a kind of a more liberalised electoral system, that's uncomfortable for the socialists, and so they want to state their case about what they think the rail network is going to look like, and it's going to be progressive development, and that's what this document is kind of for. So within this document we have publication of a map. Here is that map. I'm going to get rid of my face, if such a thing is possible. Yeah, I've got rid of my face, so I'm not on top of things. Here is the map, and there are some things. There are some things here that you'll notice. Some of which I've already seen people being in pain on what they've seen. So it's interesting. This has been, bearing in mind, this map will have been created as things have progressed. So the expectation that already we're seeing the total disappearance of the Northern Annapolis rail network here. All the Kingston and Maghull rail network just evaporates, and we'll be progressing that in this episode. In fact, a lot of that will happen in January and February. Big push to reduce that trackage, make savings. The removal of the lines through Richmond Joint Station, which is pretty dramatic as well. That's as proposed here in any case. Another big hit is the Southwestern Joint Railway, although I dare say this was kind of an inevitable. I'm pretty sure Kroll's proposed that anyway. That's going. That's just disappearing entirely, just gone. What else is going? We're seeing that actually the Harbour Line's already made a decision to go. Gampos Central, notably not shown here. But I think probably the most... Okay, another cut that's kind of visible here is the removal of the line through Arches, the original goods railway through the centre, still in use, in fact, goods railway through the centre of Bradshaw. That's an interesting proposal for removal, I would say. And up here is is probably the most insipid cut, which is the removal of the line up to Orpinos. So complete removal of the line up to Orpinos, leaving kind of this huge gap in North Mikrelada, just a huge empty area with very little rail provision at all. Pretty damaging. So that's the proposal. There's a few other interesting proposals down here. There's continue with the removal of the line down to London, which is an interesting proposal. Just a few, yeah. So how much of that will come to fruition? Yeah. Isn't the Arches line the southern freight bypass of Shildon? No, that's down here. That's that line. This line here is the line that goes through Arches, the part of Bradshaw. I can't exactly remember. The map will tell you what that railway is actually called. Anyway, so that is the Amphros Network for Development. Other things happen in March 1967, though, which is that the rather short-lived leader of, or rather chair of the Amphros Railways Board, is Thomas Samaras. He is superseded by Harrison Harry Yano here. He is March 1967. Harry takes over. This chap, it's quite interesting, this chap. He joined the GNER as a traffic apprentice in 1923. worked his way up through there, was kind of appointed assistant superintendent of the southern area of GNER in 1942. In 1955, he became the chief operating superintendent of the Northern Territories region, and later its general manager in 58. And in 62, he became the general manager of the East Coast Main Line, and chaired it up to 67, so basically up to this point, and took charge of the electrification of the Bradshaw to Thaxton Forest Limit Line. So there we go. Very kind of friendly, relaxed chap. Shrewd, a good listener, expert at delegating. There we go. So there's some stuff on this guy. Yeah, look, there's a Harry. A Harry has been, 2 Harrys have struck the stream. Yes. Anyway, okay. So there's that. So that's some interesting news. Interesting that Samaras is sort of being sidelined. Why that is. Anyway, there's another thing going on. So, on the 22nd of March 1967, we have the Iron and Steel Act. So this basically takes the nationalised iron and steel industry undertakings and creaets the Amphitrust Steel Corporation as the successor to the Iron and Steel Corporation of Amphitrust. So it's kind of a remodelling, a restructuring of the steel industry, allowing it to, it's kind of essentially attempting to modernise it, because it's in a bit of an ailing industry right now in Amphitrust. So that's the 22nd of March 1967. So we bump into April, and there is one thing that I want to talk about that happens in April that we're going to... actually, let's have a look. Yeah, there's a few things going on here. Right, so... yeah, okay, yes, so there's some spicy stuff coming up. Right, so... at some point later on in April, before the 21st of April, though, we have got... Everyone remember the Amphitrust Chemicals Company? It was like the ICI spin-off. Well... they're buying the Notaros Chemical Company. There's a chemical company in Notaros. It's getting bought up by the Amphitrust Chemical Company. So that's an interesting one. So there we go. Now, interesting moments. Something that's important. Let's get my face back as well. That's my... Hello, it's me, miniaturized face up in the corner. I have fluid again this time, you see, and a larger amount of it too, so I can keep myself hydrated. A thing that I want to remind everyone is that Amphitrust, wonderful Amphitrust, is located in the Mediterranean Sea. It's therefore within reach of Turkey, Egypt, all the countries that kind of the border of the Mediterranean, but it is very much has a strong historic links to Greece. If anyone's not interested, the thing we were talking about on the stream on Monday, there's a very interesting bit of lore you can read through to understand the history of Amphitrust and the pre-stream history of Amphitrust and what it's all about. Wikipelago, what was it? I'm going to send the link again. You can read the history. Oh, in fact, if I do this, will this work? #history. Yes, it does work. Very nice. I send you this link, which I'm going to drop here. Yeah. This link here, you can have a little read of the pre-stream history, which would be useful context for what we're about to read about. Because on the 21st of April, 1967, Max Jansen is saying it's been said a lot, but it really is insane the amount of lore that exists for this Transport Fever playthrough. Yeah, I know, right? That's because I am neurodiverse. So, 21st of April 1967 is a very important date for Greece because the junta, a military junta, gains power via coup d'etat, following increased fears among the ruling elite that the government would begin to institute left-wing policies. Oh, left-wing policies, oh no. Yeah, military dictatorship. The junta takes over in Greece. Now, what might this mean for an island that has a fairly substantial Greek diaspora? What might that mean? Well, and also, what might this mean for the politics of an island where ethnic tensions aren't necessarily have particularly been a factor in national politics in Amphitrust up to this point? But what might be the interpretation of those who are not of a Greek diasporic origin, don't have Greek heritage on the island, and how they might feel about this happening? Well, normal. I'm sure the response is normal. So remember also, we've had a press that is now a little bit freer than it was, say, 10 years ago. So what are we, 1967? So the press is freer now than it was in the late 50s, certainly. So how's this going to be responded to? So let's take just a couple of two papers with, let's say, opposing positions on what might be about to happen. So Mikrelada is the kind of it's the side of Amphitryon that faces Greece, basically, and it generally, roughly as a result of that, there's lots of Greek populations in, the whole island is a fairly substantial Greek population, but the population is highest in Mikrelada, which is sort of covers the area down the side. If you happen to have a mug of Amphitryon, then Mikrelada's kind of this bit. So it doesn't include Raleigh, but it includes Kefaprovos down to Katapos, and it goes out as far as Malados, what used to be called Wooler. So it's a fairly sizable part of the of the island. So long-term concentration of people with Greek heritage. Both pro and anti-junta protesters clash in the street on the 22nd, so the day after the coup. And this requires the intervention of the state police to kind of dissipate these crowds. And 3 people are killed in the violence. So there are these riots across Mikrelada, particularly in Gampos and Tenagma, as the 2 main cities in Mikrelada. So I'm sure this is covered absolutely normally. So let's have a look. 2 papers here. The first paper is the Amphitryon Apostle. This is the paper that really represents the Greek diaspora in Amphitryon, but particularly in Mikrelada. And you can see Greek government overthrown by fascists. Coup sparks marches across Mikrelada. Putschist sympathisers kill 3. So it's saying that 3 are killed by sympathisers of the... So the Apostle is taking a very much anti-junta stance. State Guard arrests 80. State Police, State Guard. And then there's a picture of stuff getting smashed up in... there's some stuff getting smashed up in where is that? That's Central Gampos on Friday evening, actually. There we go. King Constantine backs fascist overthrow of the government. Very nice. NATO claims no involvement, but US and UK remain silent. Incidentally, I'm sure there was absolutely no involvement of the US and UK government or NATO in overthrowing a government that was about to do like the most soft left stuff ever. Meddling King's 1965 dismissal of the country government to blame for coup. Generals claimed to be taking on anarcho-communists. Huge wave of arrests of Greek politicians and activists. Clear signs that Greece now under the control of a right-wing military dictatorship. So that's the bold position taken by the Amphitryon Apostle. Let's also have a think about what's going on in. It's also, I'm sure there's stuff you'll be able to read when you get the full resolution version of this paper when you in the assets later. Let's pick another paper. So the Pharos, generally, it's a more populist paper, or emerging as one. Let's have a little look at there's some violence on the street. So there's Greek government overthrown by fascists with the Apostle. The Pharos is saying violence on the streets of Mikrelada, 3 dead as Greeks riot and state police step in. Oh, crikey. And there's pictures of focusing on the heroism of the riot police here. As opposing sides faced off, escalating violence led state police to step in, preventing further bloodshed. Across the western city of Gampos, marches swept themselves into a rage as emotions raged in the aftermath of the military takeover in Athens. Oh, crikey. So, this is fine, I'm sure. Amphitryon government will respond today as United Nations wakes up to news. What next as Greek government falls? Edward Graham, we will defend ourselves. Okay, so there we go. So this is probably fine. I wouldn't worry about it. But the last thing that's on our list of things we're going to see if we can slam through tonight, the last thing on our list. So let's put a lot of unpleasantness to one side for now. The last thing is it's here. This nice glossy document produced by Amphitryon Rail. The new Gampos City Station. Gampos City Station. So the last thing on our list of bits and pieces to pick through is this. So a nice little view of the new station here and what it might look like. Very smart, very nice. And Socrates going, so time for a military build-up because Junta Greece might want their archipelago back. It's certainly the case that yeah, there's among corporate leaders in the growing wealthy classes, there's definitely like a suspicion or a fear of what this might mean, both kind of in terms of what Greece as a country might do, but also what this might mean for the Greek population within Amphitrus. So escalating suspicions of a minority population is not usually a healthy situation, or indeed at all a healthy situation. Not good. Yeah, so that's very much something to keep an eye on. But with all that said, it's high time we played a computer game, I think. While I load the game, because that's what we have to do now because of this stupid there. So I've clicked the TPF2 thing. I'm going to now load said game. That's now loading. You'll be able to see it loading, hopefully momentarily. Let's talk about all that. So what's going on? Thoughts, everyone, thoughts on what we're looking at? What's been happening in our wonderful set of islands? What do we need to pay? What things do we need to be? What things are you worried about? There's quite a lot going on, isn't there? Learning about actual politics, says Harry Harrison. Yeah. Well, as I've been saying, for anyone who's new to this series, this series is about showing how to have a realistic looking Transport Fever 2 map, or generally any other kind of sandbox transport thing. This is about how to do that. It's how to get that, how to make your map look realistic, and that's to build lore into it. That's the way. But it's also, on the flip side of that, is to show how transport networks get impacted by, how they develop through time, and how whether that's how track work looks, and how that gets influenced by politics, and how it gets influenced by wider stuff. Because transport isn't isolated from, it's not in a bubble. It gets influenced by everything, by all sorts of things going on. So I've tried to capture as much of those wider things going on stuff that influences how transport systems end up looking as possible. That's what this series is about. So there's two things: how to make your map look realistic, and also how transport systems are impacted by the way the world progresses. And those two kind of obviously fit into each other. So that's kind of the whole point of the series, which is why I enjoy it so much, because it kind of plays into lots of rail narrow stuff, doesn't it? Lots of people think that they're like, oh, keep the politics out of railways. What they mean by that is, I don't want to think about things or understand things. For me, the nuts and bolts are, well, if not less interesting, then certainly no less interesting than or no more interesting than the political nuts and bolts as to why something is created. And to be honest, you're telling an extremely incomplete picture if you ignore politics. You have to talk about it. You have to think about it. Michael C is saying the stations in this game from this era are very much modelled off Helsinki Central. Interesting. So, right, I need to now go back to... that's our steam trains, still sat, not achieving anything. Right, so you'll be glad to know there's other stuff that I've not actually talked about in the stream that's going on. So, a couple of things. Let's go over to... Wait, was that saying Shanklin Great Western? No, surely not. Oh yeah, it's just the sort of the yard is. Right, okay, so let's whiz over... We want to head over to... I've completely lost track. Oh, yeah. Right, so... The first thing we're going to do... So it's the 7th of January. The first thing we're going to do is... This is a station... This is... This here is... Shildon Victoria. And Shildon Victoria is a massive station that used to be an enormous intercity station, or an enormous sort of major regional terminus for an entire railway. The Southern Railway ended here. It was this major, wonderful terminus was here, and it had its grand core of lines that headed out, headed around the south and on, and it's this, it's immense station. It isn't anymore. Currently, the station facilitates 4 suburban services. It has not been well looked after. It's a station that doesn't really have a purpose, and as a result of that, it's been greatly neglected. And the first thing that needs to be done to look after this station is, or rather not look after it, but basically it's is get rid of the station roof because it's falling to bits and falling on people and it's unsafe. So the first thing that's happening is that the station roof is getting removed. So we're going to do that. Let's just get rid of the station roof. And it also reduces maintenance costs, but for the most part, it's just because it hasn't been maintained. It's falling. It's falling on passengers, which is suboptimal. So it's time to tidy up. There we go. Very nice. There we go. And Lamo, very nice. So that's just tidying up Sheldon Victoria there. Is there anything in these sheds? Yes. Quite a bit. Quite a bit in these sheds. Okay, noted. Noted. There we go. So that station roof removed because it's become unsafe. There we go. Emir Dervel is definitely saying everything that involves people is political, even geology becomes political once it starts impacting people. Absolutely. Has anyone died from the roof falling onto their head? No, no one has. No one has. It's just basically it's just been inspected to be beyond life, and there's nothing they can do to. It's not anything they can do to recover it. So they're just going to demolish the station roof, the station shed. It's gone. The other thing we need to go up and do is think about these lines north of Annapolis. So there's all this railway here that we've tidied up quite a bit of. Still a bit of this fuel coming in. Thing is, that fuel is being brought through, I believe. No, interesting, it isn't. So what we're going to do is, I think this. So this sees usually Bradshaw. There's these ships here. Okay, fine. Let me just. Okay, I think what we're going to do is create a new line here and get some fuel. You know what? No, we're not. We're not going to do that. We're not doing that. No, we're not, because the demand for fuel is being facilitated in other ways. Let's put it that way. I'm pretty sure this. Excuse me. Sorry for coughing. I remember we used to visit Sheldon Victoria every other episode. Feels like I haven't seen it in ages. I know, right? In some ways, it looks nice without the roof. Interesting. Okay. Right. Let's manage vehicles. Okay. Fine. There we go. Manage the line and get rid of the line. Yep, it's gone. Because why? Well, because this building is no longer needed. In fact, the whole thing is just going to get evaporated. And actually, this means that this vehicle, this line can actually can it. Let me just check. Annapolis delivery, yeah. I suspect that's travelling. Okay, that's bringing food into here from. Okay, so there's these lines here. So Annapolis, that's the delivery, the food delivery situation. Fine. Fuel delivery situation is doing that. Okay. Annapolis delivery. Okay, right. So all of these get sold. Fine. And then that line can disappear. There we are. What else? So that is functioning because that's bringing stuff up to AC in Annapolis. Okay, fine. So that's there. Good. let's just get our paint tool set up as per usual. 18. There we go. Fine, that's there. That anything they like can happen with that. So let's just and pop that into there. Now, I think some of this line is going to get protected because there is the hope, certainly within the Annapolis sort of city authorities, that the what is now the divisional kind of not government but the divisional leaders will continue to expand passenger services northwards. So let's see what that ends up looking like. We're gonna also do this. We need to have jup and jup. There we go, a bit of that. And a bit of this. I need this in the 40s, I think. Yeah, 444, that's the one. There we go. Okay, good. Let's see. So it's very. Let's there we go. So time to pick up some railway. There. What I think is funny. Can you imagine if I inadvertently demolished a tunnel? That would be no good. What's funny is I think that means the road is now. Yeah, which is, you know what? That's fine because I don't. So how far are we going to protect this bit of railway is the question. So that does that. There we go. This far is the answer. Oh, yikes. Always paint. Always do my painting. Go. Okay. Just be very careful in the way that I there we go. And we're off. This may take some time. I was intending to do this off stream. Yes, there we go. Oh god. Okay, right. So this is where I need to. This is why I wanted to do this off stream, and I've forgotten because I'm stupid. Because I think there's a lot of terrain work to do here. There we go. There we go. Let's go up to. Let's do it bridge by bridge. Ah, there we go. The game is very slow to decide that it wants. It's definitely got worse. It used to do it in the old days, but it's got worse. Definitely got worse as the game, as the saves got busier, I guess. It definitely is less happy about sort of terrain manipulation. Just gonna go this bridge by bridge. We know that we've done a good chunk of it. Already. No, it's going. The whole lot. It's gone. It's just one of those railways that the decision's been made. It's not my decision. It's a decision made by the railway authority. You know. You know, I sounded quite Dibner there, didn't I? Did any of you listen to the Fred Dibner Britanology episode I did? Yeah, interested to know your thoughts. There we go. There we are, we're getting there. Yeah, nearly. Now, then painting. Painting needs to then happen. Which I'm going to do basically to the edge of my screen. There we go. Corner. Whee! Uh-huh. Okay. The preview sounded good. Okay. Yeah. I upgraded and then downgraded again. I'm going to be quite honest with you. Because I can't afford 10 quid. It's too much. It is too much. We're getting there. I remember watching Fred Dibner on my telly, on the telly with my dad as a kid. Yeah, ditto. I did a lot of telly when I was that. I did a lot of telly when I was at telly watching age with the family. Yeah. We can leave those there. That's fun. It's always fun when there's a little bit bufferless bit left behind. I always enjoy that. Let me just remind myself what I have and have not painted. There we go. Let's go to this bridge. There we go. Makes our life a lot easier. I mean, that looks suspiciously like none of what I've just built is actually. I'm just going to finish. I would have thought that it would have done the thing, but apparently not. I tried to paint it, but it's ignored me. Is it completely ignoring me? Why is it being weird? Being weird, game. It is being weird. I don't know why it's being weird. It's like it's ignoring. It's very strange. Alright, well, we'll crack on. I remember I used to watch quite a lot of Adam Hart Davis as well. I went to see him, in fact, in Aberdeen. He did a presentation, very Richard Feynman-esque presentation. I'm not saying that Adam Hart Davis and Richard Feynman share many characteristics, but yeah. Is Adam Hart Davis still okay? Is he either the trajectory for someone like Adam Hart Davis is either it's either Savile or what's his name, the Scottish historian guy who's now a complete full-blown maniac. That's kind of the trajectory, isn't it? It's a bit sad. I hope it's neither. Often does seem to be the way. In Lord, they feel a little Corey spoil or something. Yeah, it's very true. Very true. Yeah, we're off. Oh dear. Okay. Noted. Turns out I have not painted all of this, so let's do that. I think I have might not have painted it all, but I've definitely, I'm pretty sure I've no, maybe not. I better check that anyway. There. this definitely is not terrain modelled, so I need to come back in and... It's a nice bit of alignment that though, isn't it? Crikey. Yeah. Go. And, okay, so having done that, let's now do this. Made the game very unhappy with me. There we are. Go on. Adam's wiki page gloriously lacks a controversy section or similar. Oh, good. It looks like some chemical company business expert at work. Yeah. Yeah. No, actually, we're beyond that point, and it wasn't business. It was a crawl. It was a crawl. So, working for a crawl consolidated construction limited, I presume, before coming anywhere near the railways. But no, we're this is it's kind of he's long gone. You know, Dr. Samuel Kroll is long gone at this point. Oh my goodness, this bit is painful. This is why I tried to do the big terrain stuff off stream, but I knew this was the one that I hadn't done off stream, and we're doing it now together as one. Don't worry, we won't dwell on this stuff too much because we need to get ourselves over to Gampos to do the big stuff. It's our big stream thing we do today is whatever's happening at Gampos, which I fear may take us ages. So this isn't going to take much more time. Except the game is confidently trying to stretch us out. RIP Nice Coastal Railway into Rugeley. I know it's a lovely bit of railway, this. Yeah. And also, it's a bit like, what's the alternative route if the tunnel goes? You know, that is a bit of an open query, really. What's the plan if there's an issue with the tunnel, or if it needs major maintenance? What's the alternative? Well, it's kind of not being seen that way at this point. There we go. It is being seen as, well, to be honest, the alternative way is, it's seen as, well, if the tunnel closed, you'd be sending stuff through this way, because the uncomfortable reality is that there is a railway that does that. You know, it's the Lakeland, what is now the Lakeland main line, and then this bit here, which isn't the Lakeland main line, it's the former Great Northern. So there is a railway that does what this railway does. The uncomfortable reality is that this one is entirely, despite being a major former railway corridor, is entirely duplicated. So I can understand why, for a single state railway operation, this is a sensible rationalism. I can understand the logic behind it. So, fetching coastal railway it might be. It's also now gone. Lots of nice track recovered from maintenance elsewhere in the system as well, though, which is worth noting. There we go. Pop, 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 pop. There we go. We're getting there. I suppose what's also interesting to understand is, you know, what protections might be in place should there be a desire to make a railway here again. This is an interesting question, isn't it? You know, do you think the Rugeley authorities will do anything about it? I'm not sure. This also, of course, influences Rugeley, because then we've got this set of tracks here that are going to stay. They're going to be staying put for now. Those ones there, but that's now quite a long stretch of track that's kind of redundant. So that needs some thought, doesn't it? Anyway. No, for now we are going to do something about it, which is kablamo a bunch of fences in. There we go. Oh god, this is... just to dissuade... yeah, just a bit of dissuading. Just to, you know, discourage development happening in and around the area. Let's see how successfully it works, but yeah. Just, you know, usually having some thought as to, you know, the future perhaps. But that is a lot of railway now gone. So if I now do this, the neatest way to see where there is railway, that is... there's not much left on the map there, is there now? That's done. That is done. Golly. It's just like putting perpendicular gates across bike paths. Yeah, lol. Anyway, right, so... that's that. Right, what else is going on? We've had the AEC acquisition of Allied Products Limited, so let's roll forwards a little bit, get ourselves towards the end of the month. We can do this by doing a bit of this. No, a bit of this. There we are. AEC. Where is it? Industry, yes. Allied Products Limited. There we are. Allied Products Limited. Ah, yes, of course. Allied Products Limited. This major factory up in near Stephanopoli. Yeah. Okay. So this. There's a lot of stuff that'll change. That's exciting. That's fun. People are wanting to know about. Yeah. Click on the headquarters. We'll let a bit of time pass. You can see how much kilometers are reduced by. In fact, we can do it now. Yeah, that's 1965. We've still not got the updated stats from recent years, but yeah, you can see the number has it's dropped quite a bit. No alternative replacement fuel supply for Annapolis. Partly because I want to manage its growth a little bit. It doesn't, you know, Bradshaw needs to grow Annapolis. Annapolis grows fast because of its connections, so it doesn't need the fuel. Right, so on January the 20th, let's make this happen. So if I go down here, no, this again. There's AEC. Okay, good. So what we just want to do is AEC Stephanopoli Limited. Right, lovely. Is that what I've actually been calling them? Are they all like? Yeah, it is. They're all actually. I presume that means they're all holding companies underneath. Then that must be how they're administered. Interesting. Right, that's that. That's also that. And that's also that. That's that. That's that. That's that. Lovely. Fine, we can keep those names that don't need to instantly change. Fine. Once we're tired, Stephanopoli, lovely. There's other bits of Allied Products, though, as we've just discussed, because there's Allied Products up here. So this is... what is... this is... this would be coat walls. Coat walls, and that's Allied Products. Coat walls, limited. Yeah, marvelous. That's all that. And the last bit of industry was there's a mill in Thessalos. That would be presume there's nothing else. Let's just get the old industry up. No, that's that. So that would be just Tessalus. Marvelous. Yeah, not that though. That's Tessalus. Good. And Tesla, AC Tessalus Limited. Marvelous. There we go. Not saying it was an exciting change, but it's happened. AC Tesla. So that's that. What else have we got? Yes. Okay, right. So let's crack on. January the 20th. So I'm going to write that down. In fact, what was that? 20th. What date did I remove the roof of? Was it the 9th that I removed the roof? I think it was, wasn't it? It was the 9th. Is that right? Everyone confirm. Was it the 9th that I removed the roof at Shildon Victoria? Thoughts on a postcard. Right, what do we have visible? Let's switch off industry and let's keep an eye out for any nasty snarl-ups of traffic that are going to cause us any headaches. I think that's okay. There's definitely some fun going on down on the lines in and out of the Shanklin Steel sidings, which that's not actually what those are called, but anyway. Could we potentially see the new motorway road built atop old railway alignments? Oh, of course. 7th. It was the 7th. Noted. It was the 7th. Thank you. 7th. Ta. Allows me to know what I have and have not done. Good. So yeah, we're approaching March, in fact. This funny little airport here. Busy, isn't it? It's very busy, in fact. Where's this Biggin Hill? When it's a chart, so it had replacement by Gampost and Agma, and then it's had a renaissance as a low cost carrier, and all these sort of low cost carriers that have sort of been getting popular again. But then it's dropped again, which is interesting. So mixed fortunes for Gampost North. What was Biggin Hill, now Gampost North. What else is going on? Yeah, there's much railway down here. Still a huge number of people just waiting for a bus here. When's the next bus going to arrive? I don't know, because we don't have a thing that says how many buses are going to arrive. 400 people used this bus stop a while back. Golly. Is Biggin Hill Station still operational? I think it is, actually. Let's check. Oh, no, it isn't. No, it decidedly is not. There's no station there. It's been demolished. It's gone. It's dust. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Station's been gone for years. Yeah, it has. I need to build a tram line on one of the old branch lines. Interesting thought. Yeah. So, yeah, an option with bus only, because then it's only trams, right? Sure. Maybe it should reopen if the airport's getting busy. Maybe it should. Maybe it should. Yeah, what else is cracking over here? You can see that the old railway alignment is disappearing rapidly. The old harbour alignment there. Is this getting used? Oh, it is. It's seen pretty rapidly. Seen a lot of stuff being dropped off. That's cool. Good to see that. 1967, March 1st. Coming into March 67. Ooh. Oh, there's a road slamming its way through the old railway alignment there. That's fun. No, there's an inevitability on it. Let's see. I've always wondered what, like, make use of the height of the railway here for a bridge, but it's never really happened, has it? Kind of feel like it ought to. So yesterday something fun happened, and that fun thing happening is quite cool because it's the completion of a bit of infrastructure work that has been a long time coming and has been a bit slow to progress. And that thing is, first of all, me demolishing some tracks. Let's just go in here, paint tools. We don't need the extra loop, that's gone. What would be nice though is for me to remember to do this. There we go. There. Now I can get rid of it. It'll slightly better reflect. Go off. Don't frighten me, game. Yes, we are going to save it in a minute. Slightly better reflect what I'm trying to do. The other thing I want to do is have a go over and have a look. I hope that's going to disappear in a minute. Yeah, good. We're going to go over here and just check. So that's going to come in. Are they going to do a remodeling of this? Maybe. I suppose what they could do is. Yeah, you know what? They are going to attempt to do a bit of improvement to the trackage here. So what I think you could do is off the level crossing. Do this. And removing the double junction, but you could then. So if you got rid of the double junction, like this. I mean, yes, I know that a lot of ballast should be here and isn't. Yeah, fine, that's that sorted. So, I think you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So I do this. Although, actually, to be fair, this would not be. It would be timber S&C. And ditto, I suspect. Let's get rid of that as well. You'll see where I'm going with this, I think. There we go, and 30. Can we do 40? Is it going to work? Yeah, we can, and are indeed going to. There we go. So there's that. Obviously I need to re-signal, so we can do that now. Let's just get our new signals up. So let's just also think about what the signal spacings are. Signal spacing is, so that's now going to be there, which means that this needs to be a bit more in the middle, I think. Yes, I'm doing this by eye. There we go. And other direction as well. And let's go in and place that again. There we go. No Bodmin bypass, but so we're essentially creating a bit that it'll be actually that. Yeah, that's correct, but then it's going to be single running, so then that's going to come out there. Ditto in the other direction as well, actually. It's going to be like that, isn't it? Yeah, there we are. Now, is that better or is it worse? Well, we're going to see, aren't we? I suspect with the number of trains running, it doesn't make a huge difference. It's just that that's what they've decided to do. Let's electrify everything, because that's what this is that's what's happened on the 7th or the 6th of March rather, is the infrastructure finished, but the 7th of March is when the services will start running. Electrification for the nation. There we go. This line was a bit of a dud for a while, and also it still doesn't pull the suburban numbers of electrification that the rest of the... What is that? Okay, there we go. And this bit. And this bit here. Come on, game. And then that'll be the end. And then what that allows us to do is put the nice new suburban units in. There we go. That is that. That's that. That's us, isn't it? Whew. There we go. So let's now manage these. And I think double them. So let's see. And we're going to replace all these with... We're going to replace them. You know what we're going to do is... So these two that we just... Sorry, I'm being stupid. These two that we just swapped, these can just get swapped immediately with our... Sorry, multiple units. Electric multiple units. Orange. Let's go. They're done. These two, though, we're going to be a little bit cleverer with. We're going to pop... This is where I have to remember. Where are... So... Yeah. These are all electrified, aren't they? So perfect. Right. Yeah, smashing. We're going to buy 2 vehicles, which are these two. No, just 2. I call these stored, because they are stored. And then what we're going to do is go like this and this, and see if I can then go down here and be clever. No is the answer. I cannot be clever. That's the key problem here. Right, if I do this and this, then I need to press this, and then go over here again, and go over here, zoom in on here. There we are. That's number 1 that I want. There we go. So these two, now I need to do this, and this should work nicely. So, and then, oh, annoyingly, and up and up. The old swapperoo. There we are. We've got some vehicle stored. I'm going to do more of that because I like the idea of having stock to cascade. So that should now mean that we've got electric stock running on here, and this route. Let's just have a look at the chart. It has climbed, so it didn't do very well, and then it jumped quite a lot in terms of operation. It's doing pretty well. Let's go. Sparks effect. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it helps with these areas. I mean, yeah, we'll find out. But we now have an electric service running, which is quite exciting. We've just had there's lots of the machinations going on in the background of the railway network for development and so on. Marvelous. So we had so now we can hammer on to we've got a roll on into early April, I think. How the level crossing on the line been improved with the electrification works. So not all of them have been eradicated. They've got rid of the ones that they can. Oh yeah, that's a very good point. I'm amazed that they have survived in the condition they have, to be honest. Very good point, Michael. See, that one's working. And that one is upgraded. Yeah, golly. I mean, really should have finished upgrading all of our level crossings by now, to be honest. But how many people are on this train? 57 and 57 already. Oh, crikey. Busy, busy. Can we upgrade a level crossing for? Yeah, barriers. Yeah, it would absolutely be done in the works. You're absolutely right. Just caught up with the news. I'm sorry your in-game car got its windows broken. Yeah, exactly. That's not happening yet, but it's going to happen in April. March 25. What else is going on? Should we see if the electric services in Forest Living are happier? Because they weren't for a while, were they? I'm going to call this a wowzer situation, which is why, to be fair... Oh, you know what? That's funny. Let's just quickly look at congestion. Yeah, getting bad. Which is indeed why the motorway construction is happening. So, I think about this time is when... yeah, we're about to see the demise of... the demise of the... Is there anything in there as well? No, it's all gone. So... The music's gone as well, hasn't it? It's very dramatic. Let's start that again. Oh, it's because I've not got a loop on. Weird. Let's make it happen. Yeah, I always like this little... This is the only railway that kind of implements like a proper... It's like an industrial... It's like an inclined railway. It's the only one that looks anything like that. Let's think about... yeah, it's going to be that. Like really small brush size. A little bigger. There we go, let's start that again. Let's make our nice... There we go. Yeah, very nice. And... You know what, maybe they leave the head house in place, but just demolish everything else. Yeah. That was maybe exactly what they're going to do. There we go, and a bit of the... Just a little bit of this. Fine, and it's gone. It's gone. Oh, interesting. Huh. Kind of thought that I would have tidied that up, to be honest, at this point, but no, probably not. Let's do that then. And there. Definitely need to do this in here. Let's not make that mistake again over here. This I feel like we can probably leave the building, the warehouses here. And yes, I probably need to come down and drop ballast on here in a sec. Go. Do this. Get this up here. Just tidy this all away. Bye bye. Farewell, dear railway. Do not demolish the proper tunnel. That's a key thing you have to do. It's a long-lived bit of industrial oil, isn't it? Now it isn't. Let's just tidy this bit of it. God, I remember building this thing. That was a long time ago. Is there a list of buildings act in this universe, perhaps? Well, yeah, maybe. That's the bridge. The bridge is still there. That's all gone. And it's certainly the case that there's a desperate need for this bypass to be finished, although it's not getting completed anytime soon. Maybe are they gonna do the maybe that's the first thing that it is actually. Yeah. Start building some bridges. Let's do it. In readiness for. I don't exactly know. I need to work out what it's going to do over this side. It was around there and up to the airport and around the back junction here and connecting of roads into the back of Forest Limit. But chiefly, it needs to provide a connection from so quickly the routes. There are routes that come, quite a few routes that come through here and follow the road across this bridge through Pakefield and then over the back and use this bridge to get into. What this is, which is what is this bit called? It's called Fritton, isn't it? Yeah, so this bridge here, and then comes up into the back of Arthur's Seat and then round. It's very, very congested. What did we look at? We were looking at the congestion here. It's really very congested. It's a congested route, and so that certainly is the intention of the motorway. It will free up quite a bit of that. Can we give a short section of track either side of the steel bridge so it retains its abutments? I'm generally in the habit of keeping. I mean, it's kind of got its abutments there. We could do that, couldn't we? Just leave a bit, but it's not that. It's not too different to go with that bit. What else do we need to do? I mean, look at this. Oh, crikey. Busy. What are the routes coming out of here disappearing off too? Let's do a bit of this. So that goes that way, 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 that goes. So there's quite a lot of traffic making its way up through. Is what we're learning. How profitable were all these? That's Victor Softy making some moolah here, by the look of it. Yeah. Yeah, decent whack. Anyway, I am looking forward to concrete bridges. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. What's all this then? What's all this then? It's a bunch of vehicles. What is the next? I'm gonna leave all that there because that's fine for now. There's some tidying up. There's definitely some more tidying up to be done in this area. Presumably, Kroll are going to be making some. The CCC rather are going to be making their investments. If you remember, there were suburban plans to actually connect to build a station to the airport and actually connect the airport to the city. How that's actually going to happen, given the capacity, the connect links and capacity. The limitations in capacity through here. But we do have some unused rail assets which may provide an opportunity. So it's not all doom and gloom. There are definitely some opportunities, I think, for that to be facilitated. But there's the road network around here is struggling, and there needs to be some thought to what that's going to look like as well. So on those thoughts, I want to get us into April. gets into mid-April, I think. There we go. The track numbers have indeed dropped quite a lot. Yeah, we've seen the rapid electrification, and then also lots of track, nice introductions of decent track as well. Can we look at the feasibility briefly? Putting a station in the cutting next to Arthur's Seat. Tricky. Well, it's all industrial buildings, so not impossible. Not impossible. It's 2-track railway. It's getting a road down there might be a bit of a pig. That's the only thing. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, right. It's April the 10th. What's the thing that I want to do? We're going to set up the first of the Northern Roads delivery units. Mostly it's about offices and stuff, which we don't need to represent. But these delivery units, and the first one is based up in Voris-Limin, in fact. So that's the first of our Northern Road units, based up in Voris-Limin. And where is it going to base itself? Well, somewhere with reasonably good connectivity. I suspect that would be probably somewhere like this. So they're going to, I mean, mostly, as I say, offices, but they will have they're going to need some depot space for some of the contractor equipment and stuff. So let's set them up, shall we? Sufficiently, you know what, probably this side actually. So set them up here. Or are they going to go on this side? No, they're going to go over here. No, they want quick access onto the motorway. They're going to be here. There we go. There we go. Northern Road Delivery Unit. Marvellous. And let's just... And we just want... And probably a bit of space for its... There we go. Marvellous. There we go. That's nice. Northern Road Delivery Unit. I mean, they might have some clerical staff based in here. They've probably got an office in fact, probably have an office in Voris-Limin Station somewhere. If there must be some office space in the station building. Wowza, that's a busy station. 250 people want to travel on the on 1EO2, and let's just have a quick look at the finances wise. Income has exceeded running costs so far for this year, so that's impressive. 1EO2, I mean, that's happened pretty quickly. That's a busy bit of railway. Wowza. Passenger building could look like a little office. Show a little... Maybe we will do that. Let's have a look. Let's go back to wherever we were and just flatten this and put in a little... There we go. 1E2 is the semi-fast, yeah. That's fine. Let's leave that as is. Okay, so the Northern Road Delivery Unit there. Those are going that way. Motorways don't get built in a minute, so that's going to continue on. What else is going on? So we've got. Okay, fine. Let's keep going a bit of time. Let's head over to Notidos. Let's spend a bit of time in Notidos. What's going on in Notidos? How much construction has happened over the former... There's a bit of... People are asking about heritage railways. There's a heritage railway here. There's the Western Isles Railway Preservation Society, and they have several preserved steam trains. They... yeah, I don't really have much about... so it's really up to you guys what's going to happen in terms of the preserved railway movement on the island. They don't really have much in the way of anything that they could do. Really, is the issue. Is that a reason to stop? Maybe could we set up a little heritage line? The thing is, it'll be an absolute. It'll just lose monkeys of money. Yeah, you know what I think they've done? Maybe they are. They're in the process of putting some tracks back in the station, and maybe a little bit, maybe a few little tracks coming out as well. Yeah, maybe. There we go. There, some tracks going on here. I presume they're going to try and... Thing is, they definitely can't retain the original layout because it... Oh, maybe they can. Maybe they can. There we go. How interestingly, how long... No. How long is this train? It's 5. This old thing. Length is 43 meters. Oh, interesting. I wonder if they could... Yeah. I wonder if they could like get it to like a halt or something, just here, and kind of run like a little halt service back and forth. They might be able to, you know. Yeah. How it achieves that is another question, though. Is it possible? Let's have a little think. Buildings, station, 80 meters, track. No catenary. The issue we've got is there's no way of placing a shorter station. So other than, oh god, what did I just do? Oh, weird. Well, okay, by pure accident, I guess that's a thing. Yeah, I guess that's a thing. Let's get rid of that. And get rid of that. And let's get rid of that. And work out how they're going to... a bit of this sort of thing, I suppose. That's the sort of nonsense that you might expect a heritage railway to come up with. Let's see. There we go. Now. Now. Is that enough that it can get off the... Yeah, probably. What do we think? Are we gonna... Heritage Railway not keen on following construction regulations? Yeah, absolutely. Is it possible to put the track back on the original alignment? No. What I do need to do is pop a little didgeridoo on here, and a little street. A little street connection. Needs to go up there to get to it. A little situation. Just linking us up. Oh, let's also lock that, incidentally. So we've got that. What are we going to call this? Well, firstly, I need to remind myself. What's this little corner called? So we're going to call this. What are we? What is this, by the way? What? It's the Western. So the Western Isles Preservation. What do they call themselves? They call themselves the Western Isles Railway Preservation Society. Western Isles Railway Preservation Society. Halt. Yeah, that's what they built there. What about this place here? Westminster Station. Yeah, I'm going to call it Westminster Station. There we are. And I mean, that does look suspiciously like the heritage railway, doesn't it? Like the sort of thing they might actually have going on. Do we try? Do we do this? Maybe. Works. And so let's just do I suspect they're going to go for what rolling stock are they probably going to go for now? Let's see what's the length of this. 35 meters. Yeah, I suspect the thing they're going to have. Well, also everything here. What is it? It's on high. Normal. This thing is in. It's in very good. I suspect they're probably going to get the most recent thing running rather than the oldest. Or what is this? What's the length of this? Do you think they're going to get? Maybe they're going to get the. Yeah, maybe. Okay. 21st of April, by the way. While we're having a nice time with this, a coup is going on in Greece, so enjoy yourselves. Right. So where's this thing? It's not called stored. What are we calling this thing? Number 1. There we are. That's what we're going to call it for now. We'll come back and watch that momentarily. Because what do we need to do? We need to go over. Okay, while that's happening, that's all happened. It's very exciting. That's been going on. We need to look at the Nautilus Chemical Company Limited, because this is now. Let me just. The Amphitrust Chemical Company Limited have bought it, so it's no longer Amphitrust. It's now it's no longer Nautilus. Amphitrust Chemical Company Limited. Actually, is it ACC? I need to check. Have I got these as ACC or have I got them as Amphitrust Chemical Company Limited? Yeah, there we go. And that will be Nautilus Works. I suspect that this makes more sense to compress to ACC Limited. Yeah. ACC Limited, Nautilus Works, marvelous. And then also, I'm just going to bottom here. Just do a bit of this. Just do some, just copy and paste this and just do a little bit of tidying up of these names. So what was that? Let's pin this. That's Chemical Company Bristol. So that's just Bristol Works. Lovely. This. I don't even know where this is. Where is this? Where are we? Where is this? Oh, interesting. Yeah, that is going to be. What are we going to call these works? Hey, whoever was in the chat yesterday. No, Porthpean Works. There we go. You're back on the case. Hatcherson Well. Amphitrust Chemical Company. Oh, interesting. Let me just do this. And interestingly, this is not owned by APC, which is quite interesting. I suppose it's just through a strange series of flukes as to... oh dear. Let's just tidy that up. Golly. Oof. Fine. And this is Hatchson Refinery, I guess. Hatchson Works. Oh, Hatchson Well, Hatchson Works. Okay, that's fair. Lovely. It's very foresty over here, isn't it? Very nice. And then what's this? Holliston Refinery. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to come back in a second and make sure that all the... Yeah. So, Holliston Refinery. Fine. And... Yeah. Holliston Refinery. Lovely. And so, let me just get all the industries back. And go through, what was that? ACC. So that's going to be further up here. ACC Limited Bristol Works. Check that all that is. Yeah. And yeah, lovely. Hatchson Well. That is lovely. Some works. That isn't, so let's do that. Holliston Refinery we did do. Nottingham Works we did do. We've done that nicely. Yeah, lovely. Porthpeen Works we have done that. No, I don't think we have. So that's... And that's also... Okay, good. That's an expanding company, isn't it? There. Marvellous. Good stuff. Where are we? Enjoy yourselves with Lane. Thank you, Jules. Yeah. Emmer Derfell. Don't think Beach and kickstarted Heritage. Wasn't it the dieselization of the 50s and 60s? Yeah. But our Heritage timeline is quite different to the Britain's Heritage timeline, I think. During the ages of Steam, you couldn't be nostalgic for stuff that never went away. Yeah, quite. Steam trains, while very cool in the abstract, sort of a pain in heavy service. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a reason why they made a lot of sense to run as diesel. Right, so I'm sure you're all keen to get cracking with this. So the riots are currently going on in Gampos and Tinagma right now. So let's ignore all that and watch Steam Train. There it is. God, it's a blinking bright colour, isn't it? That is the authentic... I mean, good grief. You have to... I wonder if... Right, so let's have a little... I'm going to just be a bit cheeky for a moment. Just to do some livery stuff. So I reckon that the locomotive of this... So, yeah, okay, right, let's... So I reckon the locomotive is going to be this colour. I'm going to very briefly do this. And paint this the colour that I think the wagons would be. We think like a teal colour. I'm going to just do a bit of this. Because the game has moved on a little bit since we... There, I think that's a bit better. The game has moved on a little bit since we... The game's moved on a little bit since that first train was in there, when you could only put things as like bright primary colours. Now we're in a situation where we can have a train that looks a little bit more realistic. Interestingly, those are metal, so they don't have to be... They don't have to be a kind of a wooden colour, but they're going to be that colour for now, I think. Thoughts on a livery, updates to what you think. Arguing over liveries of steam trains and formations is absolutely on form, so I hope ARSE will be arguing vividly over those in the Discord. There we go. That's the authentic Western Isles Railway livery. There it goes. Thing is, though, it's the 29th of April 1967, and so we've got some stuff to do. Let me just very quickly. There we go. Marvellous. Well, that's very nice. Is anyone ever going to gather in this station? I suspect not, but we'll find out. They're going to be running it at a tremendous loss, and so be it. That's definitely some smashing purple for a steam locomotive. Yeah, I think so. I think it looks quite fetching. There we go. There we go. are they going to start setting up multiple bits of fiddle yard and multiple lines with steam trains puffing back and forth? Who knows? Who knows what it might end up looking like? We just don't know. Are we going to have heritage railway steam all over the island? Who knows? I honestly have no idea. I don't know. These things are going to have to... what I think is probably the most fun thing that you guys can lead on while everything else is happening politically around it, and it might be that your plans end up getting smashed by political activity and things that you have no control over. Right, so it's time to do the fun bit. This is going to be fun. Right, let's save for starters. So... what was that? 670429. And it's going to be Gampos Station. Gampos City. There we go. Just in case everything goes to hell. Right, okay. Yeah, that is Amstrom's first heritage railway. We should probably write that down somewhere, shouldn't we? What date was that I did that? Oh, people can tell me in the Discord all about it, and then we'll act accordingly. Right. So, I need to have a think about what this is going to look like. First of all, the station itself. But this is just getting... or is it actually? You know what? Let's start by not just totally bulldozing it, because it might be able to save some of it. Let's put that there. Yeah, fine. Okay. Another thing that we're definitely going to do is bulldoze the goods buildings, because they aren't necessary. One other thing that might be a useful side effect of is, can I no, can I do this? Ooh. Oh, it clashes, just fractionally clashes. That's frustrating. Just millimeters, bare millimeters. That's a real shame. A real shame. Anyway, those are gone. Actually, you know what? We'll do the date of the Heritage Lab. What we'll do is we'll finish this, and then we'll... how long do we have before the next stuff that starts happening? Okay, yeah. Okay, so we'll look at what date that train pulls into the first station, and then we'll call that the start of the service. That's what I do. A T or an L-shaped station keep the central main line its current line, moving the platforms to the east. Okay, that's not what's going to happen, because the plans are bigger. Let's first of all get rid of all this lot. The plans for what the track alignment is going to do here are a little more ambitious, I have to say. Although not massively, but they are more ambitious. So, let's see. Build a proper integrated station where all the platforms are parallel. Yes, exactly. That is what's going to happen. Now, I have to sort of partially remind myself of what the hell that looked like. So, firstly, let me get my... let me just have a think on what this is actually going to look like. So, what have we got? We've got 3 platforms on this end. This side of the station is correct, good and fine, but platforms could be longer, so that's what I'm going to just do a bit of. So a little bit of platform lengthening at this end. So let's do that. So let's get the platforms in. And so those are now 200 meter long platforms, as is this. And I want this to be the same. Yep, and then ditto with platforms here. And so just think we've essentially got two clusters of main lines here. We have the stuff that's going to come in off the central. You'll see that there's already been some preparatory work going on here and preparing excavation for what and kind of what eventually will be the curve to bring the Great Central that's up there down onto the Great Western here. But these need to meet, and how exactly that's going to work, we'll get to that. We also need to think about, oh god, we need to think of this bloody freight train that's snarled up right in the middle of everything. Let's also just get rid of this lot, because yeah. Laters, right, so laters potatoes. So this is, we know that this is having to go because there we go. And these have to go because of they're not lined up right. So for example, you'll see that we need 2 tracks here. There we go. So we've kind of got to think into the future of we've got all the stuff that's going. So we've got we need platforms for regional services on the Great Western. We need platform for suburban services on the Great Western and local services. So kind of we need 4 platforms for the Great Western, and we need so on top of that we need 2 platforms for central services. We need 2 platforms for Lakeland services, and ideally 2 platforms for Droitwich services. So ideally we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 platforms ideally in here, of which 4 will be long, 280 meter long platforms. So that's so there's we've got to think about those as well. Let me just plonk those platforms in. Oh, yeah. Tracks be gone, etc. So that's going to go here. One of the things I need to remind myself is how far out I can build this, because that's going to make a bit of a difference to things. Okay. This is a bit of a test. And that appears to be the end of that. Oh, that's for space reason. Okay, okay. So how many platforms have I just built? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh, okay. 12 platforms. This station, everyone loves this station. This is SimCity 2013 soundtrack, Daniel Field, yes it is. Right, so, and the other thing we need to think about is that if we're coming off let's remind ourselves of what's up here. We now have the fast lines are on the inside of the curve, which is also annoying for speed, but whatever. Fast lines on the inside of the curve, so that means that the longest platforms need to be the ones down here. Before I enthusiastically build those 12, though, we just have to think about what this means for... Let me just have a think. For actually building access into the station. Yeah, this old historic entrance, as you might have guessed, does indeed have to disappear. So F's in the chat for architectural heritage being wiped out on this station. A station which I'll hasten to point out is really old. Built in 1851 and previously remodeled in 1868, 1872, 1930, 1935. There we go. We used to have 10 platforms, then have 3 for the fast lines, 3 for the slow lines. Yeah. I'm thinking that having 3 pairs of tracks for each main line is not actually a bad idea if I can fit them all in. That's what I'm thinking right now. So let's see if I can do that. Let's also see what passenger buildings I can put in here. I suspect that's kind of gonna hit it there. So that is in that direction, but we need... So what's that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the length of the station for the... So that gives us our... That's the footprint for the... That's the footprint that we'll have for the fast services coming in off the central main line. Then the suburban services come in now. We could potentially split a platform and have extra platforms here with the scissors in the middle for suburban services, but it would give us through services as well. Challenge not to alter the position of the bridge piers. Yeah, that is challenge mode, isn't it? Yeah. I suspect we might have to... we'll see. That's going to come in. Let me just have a little think. So that's coming in there. Can we put a big passenger building on this side? We actually could. Okay, noted. And it could make a bit of a grand square here. That's an option, isn't it? That is an option. In fact, it's quite a nice option. That could be what we do, actually. Have the grand station on that building on that side. Keep the original station building on this side. So that's going to come in. This also gives us options for freight to kind of route its way through wherever it needs to once we start remodeling this throat. So that provides us options. Yeah. More room for the throat if I move the long platforms 1 block further this way. Oof, yeah. Yeah, because these are terminal platforms. That's a very good point. That could work, yes. The thing is, we are limited by... Yeah, but it gives space for S&C. You're right. It maybe is not a bad idea to have that flexibility, actually. It's very true. So if I did that and that... and... So let me just get a clear head of what I'm doing down here as well. So that means we've got these 3 are off the Great Western. So we've got essentially a 6 platform station for the Great Western. I agree, therefore, that it makes sense to actually flatten. Get rid of that as well. So that's going to come through. Okay, yeah. So it gives us space to do... You're right. It gives us a bit of space to do what we need to do to bring that around there. You're right. That's a very good idea. Excellent idea. Yeah, the original station was a weird shape because of this industry that is now gone. So we have... That's enabled us to do what we're doing now. Now, let me have a little think. Can I be... I was talking about potentially being clever with We've got a very long platform space here. We're still fairly constrained in that we can't. Yeah, let's have, what's going on here. So this station. These are terminal. So they're going to be terminal. So they'll run in to be terminal. This will be a through platform, because that'll mean that there'll be one potential through platform allowing services to run from the central onto the Great Western, which is an opportunity. Yeah, okay, so that's going to run through like that. That's going to run round. That'll run round there. Oh, yeah, okay. Suburban services on the central plus freight from the Great Western will run through there. That'll run there and run around the outside, because the services on the central aren't going to be using that much. So I think that's the right thing to do for that. And if that's the case, then I think that's probably as long as that needs to be. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, it is 4 because I've clipped it on that side. Ooh, interesting. So if I extend that by, if I pop 2 tracks in here and a platform in here, then that does start looking tighter. Yeah. Would look nice to build a new large station building all the way up at the back end of the terminal platforms up north. Will that require industry demolition? Yeah, so if I just have a little look at what the geometry options are now for kind of, I mean, this street could be curtailed. That could go. The only thing about putting the building, a terminal building here is, I suppose it is serving quite a lot. Yeah, I suppose it is serving quite a bit of population at this end, and then also closer to residential. You know what? That's not a bad idea. Yeah, okay. It gives some space for development to happen here. You know, bulldoze that and then open this out for development. Yeah. Okay, right. Let's focus for a minute and think about geometry of the tracks through here. So if I was to, interesting. I mean, I've got a collision with but that's because I've got a collision with these assets, which I can get rid of because I don't need the fences there anymore. I keep forgetting that when you delete assets, it deletes trees as well, right? So if I did that, that is interesting. What's the speed further up? It's less. What would be much more interesting is if I could get that as a full curve. So if I, yeah, okay, there we go. Because this whole, I mean, obviously this whole lot is okay. Right, so now let's have a little think. So this comes around to here. Oh. So actually what that needs to do is, it's about there. Okay, well, okay, fine. This tree is going then. Fine. Now, so we need to go a little bit. that here, wasn't it? No, is that going to work? I've gone too far, haven't I? Yeah, I've gone too far. Which is fine, because this, when you do this, it becomes... Oh! They must have fixed that thing where the spline just goes to absolute hell in a handcart. If you place it next to a platform. It used to just go to absolute bobbins. There we are. 44. So that's... I'm not necessarily going to hold that geometry there, but I'm just... We've considered giving freight some dedicated tracks. No, no dedicated tracks. Could you also remove a pair of platforms if you do that to increase the station footprint? TM catching it live. Hello. Hello, TM. Lovely to have you on. Greetings from Thursday. Greetings from Thursday where you are, Max Johansson. Buzz the straight that's far too long and then join the straight with a set of points. Yeah, we're still going. I nailed it. I've got a reasonable instinct for these things now, Michael C. So... thing is, that does, obviously that gets us in at the far end, and we still need to work out how to get our freight lines and our passenger lines to actually flip down here, because currently they, in fact, yeah, they don't anymore. They used to do that. They used to do it here, then they did it here at the station, and then we've stopped that again. All the signals are going, because all the signals will need to disappear to make this work. Right, so yeah, so that will come through that side. These are all going to be terminal platforms, so we can let's just start putting the tracks in, because there we go. Now, gonna be something big and grand. Is that gonna work? That's kind of a shame there's the wrong size, isn't it? If I plonk that in there and then this in next to it, is that... That's then sort of a similar problem to if you have the big platform building, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Whoa. What are you thinking? What were you what were we thinking in terms of do it? It's a little bit of a shame that it's not symmetrical. That obviously irritates the hell out of me. Is it going to look better with? Is it going to look better with this sort of a situation? Or maybe do I want to actually have double platform on this side for extra capacity? Who knows? Like something like this, just for oh, I don't know though. Oh, I don't know. It doesn't look so tidy, does it? Oh, it's just irritating that it's the buildings are just. It's a shame you can't like just stretch a building across. Yeah, it does look a bit weird. Yeah, it's thoughts continue to be welcome. It's yeah, it's a shame that also they've not thought. It's just a shame they've not put enough thought into like how people would build platforms. Don't platform, no, because we haven't got the space for it. This is the challenge. No, I want it to be as tight that way for geometry reasons, like as tight that way for geometry reasons as possible. So, more contemporary station structures. Sorry, TM. I love. Yeah, I would love there to be. They're missing a style, basically. They're missing a modernist era construction, which is a real shame. I don't think it'd be a large building. I think it'd be this one. And if they put this one here, I wonder if they put that there, if it looks naff or if it's still nice. There we go. Because then I suppose what you could do at that point is put something like this in. That could be the way to deal with it. That could be nice. Yeah, and possibly even something like that. That's a bit more. So it's kind of got a bit of it. It's like modest, but fetching. I think that's might be what we do. Are we going to go from this style into the Calatrava math function roof stations? That's completely correct. Yeah, that's it. That's why there's a gap. They forgot the minimalist bit. They went from like the Art Deco kind of interwar style to yeah. Anyway. So there we go. Let's get some tracks laid. There we go. From Holden to Calatrava, pretty much, yeah. Master Trams, glad you agree, yeah. There we are. So that is that. This is kind. It's funny, isn't it? It's like the station skew is completely flipped as a result of the space that we now have. I mean, we've not even started thinking about this connection. I know that it does work, but it's going to be interesting. And also, this throw is something. Just thought maybe double up the outer platform and say it's an approximation for a walkway down the station building attached to some of the short platforms. No, I think we've got the. I quite like this as a solution. We need to do obviously the road remodeling around it, but we'll worry about the railway for now. Talking worrying about the railway, that's going to involve us worrying about the railway, which we have to do in this instance by working out how this is going to work. Straight line to here. Okay. No. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's good. Right, let's do the Michael C method to get the nice curvature over here. 33, 34, 34, lovely. Actually, that isn't technically the Michael C method. That's just so that's what it looks like on the inside. Those all need to connect into this track, actually, so it's interesting that I've drawn that because I need to have a real think about what that station throw is going to look like. This we might end up I don't want to go beyond midnight because I need to go to bed. Might end up straddling this remodeling might end up straddling an episode. We've done that before, haven't we? We did that with Annapolis City, I think, didn't we? So that's working around there. Yeah. We're going to worry about the station. So I think that works over there. Right, now we need to... Okay, so this other side. This is the tricky bit. I think the way I'm going to do this... First of all, I suspect that we'll use Campos Central for suburban services for a little while. So it's not going to be a full... an immediate transition. I suspect we'll keep using Campos Central for suburban services for a little while, just while all the services normalize through here. There we go. Love to signal around for Tross. Crazy busy. TM, it would be. Good grief. You would be kept busy, not just because there are so many trains, but also because every now and then just you're there would be reasonably frequent massive alterations to your signaling panel or whatever it would, what have you. Right, so that, let me just check the train. The trains are all fairly well segregated at this point. Just the set of points that I built. No, it is, but then promptly delete it. Is that really what that's doing? Yeah, it is, okay. Well, I'm going to delete it. Or am I? Yeah, I am. This one as well. Yeah, that's not causing anyone any headaches, probably. Just all the Great Western stuff that's on fire, but we know that that's the case for now. I need to work out how quickly this can drop down, so this becomes a bit interesting. So I'm going to demolish this and this for a bit. You'll understand why in a sec. Yeah. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this with wood, so I know where I'm going. Yeah, right. Now, from here, I want to know how... Yeah, okay, this is exactly what I need to know. The shallowest angle... How far do I need to go to get this down to the right level? I think... So actually, to test this, I'm going to need to get rid of... yeah, okay. I'm just going to get rid of all this track here for now. Because I kind of need to sort of see what's going on. Right, so let's try that again. So from here... I want to be this shallowness. Is that low enough? It's not, so I need to go... I mean, I could have it... I kind of rather the curves were flat, basically. Partly because I think we'll need S&C space, but also... Yeah, so I think I need to start going down the hill a bit further back, essentially. Or do we call that okay? Maybe that's okay. Let's go with that for now and see what it looks like. So that's going to come in. It's going to be a title. That's going to be a climb, isn't it? Oof. Okay, so if I tell you what, let's do not do that. Let's do this, and obviously keep that on the straight and narrow. So from there to here, that's the radius we're looking at. Thing is, that radius, okay, so it's shallower than... to be fair, I can pull this back by a bit, can't I? You know what, I can do a double whammy here, because if I do this and then demolish this, that gives me a bit of flexibility on... I can play with what that radius is going to look like. Also, I'm going to do this as concrete because it's tight. No, it's going to be wood. For now, can I get 40 out of it? 30, 39. Oof. If you vertically curve segment, make quite sure, then you'll achieve the... if you make the transition into the gradient shorter, then you can have constant grade for longer. Okay, noted. Noted. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Okay, right, so... How does that actually end up manifesting? Is it just... Okay, so if I do that, and then is it... yeah, that does look a bit shallow, a bit lower, doesn't it? Okay. Oh. Okay, so let's get this bit in. There we go. Is that lower? I think it's lower, isn't it? Right, so let's try that again. So go from here. Can I get 50 in? Kind of not really. 40 looks like it. If this was concrete, what would it be? 50. Oh. Bridge pier collision. Well, of course there's a bloody bridge pier collision. There's always a bridge pier collision. That's it though, isn't it? That's the money. That's got to be it. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's doable. Oh. How can I? There we go. How can I make some of these bridge piers do a number for a bit? Trick the game. Now, what was that again? I've got to try and recreate that now, don't I? Okay, so I'll try from this side. Right. Okay. That's why your roads always used to sink below ground level on building bridges, because you still have a gradient when you reach the ground. Yes. Save up if you make the transition. Yeah, okay, yeah, everyone's doing that. The trouble with this 50 is that it does not leave us any space for the throat. So I suspect it's a non-starter to get that radius in. However, that doesn't mean that we're doomed. Far from it. If we could have just like 45 maybe. Okay, so starting from the other side of the bridge, 38. Yeah. Oh, come on now. Come. 30, no, 40, 44. Okay. So let's just also look at that. What is that gradient? Is that doesn't look too bad. That gradient looks much better actually. So if I accept that, and now do this, and get rid of this, and also this, and I assume this will now nicely go down to here, and ditto. So that's kind of what's going on there. The only trouble with that is that this now makes the connection into the central look absolutely and totally insane, which might be okay, because if I'm gonna get rid of this curve again. I think what we'll end up doing is probably coming out along here. So coming out by one track, so we'll, because there is a temporary situation here. So actually what I want to do is make get rid of you and you. Just tested that no longer looks completely insane. It looks kind of normal. That this, because this is now going to be the inside of the curve. Let's continue this one on like that. There. That's it. Bingo. And we'll run up to the flat. There we go. And from this point, that then starts being a bit less bonkers. So that. And I can then delete that. So that, I think that's now the situation. If I place that there like that, and hey, what? Whoa! I saw that. What is going on with that? That's not a thing. Oh, it's actually wood. It's wood. Well. We're going to stick with concrete for now then. At least so we can see what the final geometry is, even if I actually build the thing in Right, so that's going to come down here. We need to have that joining on this side and on the other side. How to do that quickly is going to be bit tasty, but we'll make it work. We need to get rid of these two signals. Well, that one, because then I'll use this as a means by which to. Now, how smooth can I make this? It needs to be a goodly speed. So let's go for. That's too much. That's perfect-ish. Let's go for, what was it again? Was it that? 126. Yeah, nice. I'll do. There we are. Should have done that, should I? Let's do that the other way. And delete it in the other direction. There. Now that's going to come around here like this. And there we have it. Oh, I can just do this, my 320 meter thing again. Right, so that's disappearing off down here. We've got the connection. So it's kind of a temporary work situation. Like the reason it's doing this is so that it can so that there can be maintained access into the suburban station. Into Central Station for suburban trains for however long those are going to be running. That is all I'm going to do for tonight because I think we're dangerously approaching the midnight point. There's more to do here then, basically. Plenty more, which is nice. Look at that. It's a big old mess. Let's save. And we can share our thoughts on what it might look like. It doesn't matter if the connection to Central is insane. If Central is going to close anyway. No. It'll be providing us a suburban station for potentially a little while everything sort of sorts itself out. Not least, this is probably a staged approach to doing all the track remodeling either side of the station as well, which we've obviously not accounted for here. So that's kind of why I've built that like that. So you end up with this sort of quite substantial bit of physical work. I suspect these two will be gone to facilitate the earthwork here. So, and the earthwork will be widened at this point. So that's, there we go. Yep. But this bit, yeah, going around here, that's fine. Now, the question, so I suspect the way I'll do this is with a double junction in here. And trying our best, oh, it's 30, so 30, so something like that probably. Where is it? Come on. Yeah, something like that, very likely, is what I would do. Is that working on the vertical? It is, nicely, in fact. And so that's these two. It's a bit of a slow approach now. Now it's this connection. So this is the throat remodeling of thinking about how this is then going to work. So I think probably what I'll do is get the freight through line done. This no longer needs to connect in the way that it does onto the southern main line, I don't think. Or do we want things? We could possibly not do all the remodeling needed. We possibly don't need to do all the remodeling. Probably take it back to here and tidy this, snip it back to here, but actually keep that connection there. And then these two tracks are the ones that are going to come in to here. So there's not. So we might be able to limit the scope of our track work on this side. That might be helpful. But there's yeah, okay, it's fiddly. There's a lot to do. Let's save again. Yeah. Oof. Oof. No, Michael C. There does still need to be the southern main line from Nottingham through is the freight link. So they're keeping freight and passenger stock. You know, in this situation, they've thought ahead and they've thought, no, we're going to keep this as a freight connection, keep this open as a freight link. Use it, you know, dedicated to heavy freight usage, and that keeps freight away from our passenger services. Train will be rated to stop on a certain maximum gradient. Oh, there's discussions about signalling going on. Yeah, mostly still mechanical interlocking. What is this? It's 67, so yeah, it's mostly mechanical. Let me just think about the East Coast Main Line, which is where the first electromechanical and yeah, not actually 66. Yeah, no, there was some integrated signalling going on the West Coast and East Coast main lines. When did because when did Birmingham's signal box open? Is about, it would have been earlier because it would have been around about now, but a little bit earlier because it would have coincided with the electrification. So yeah, about then. There's some good signalling chat going on, which is very nice. So anyway, right, I'm gonna stop doing this. I'm gonna go to bed, and we've got this to look forward to, possibly Monday, possibly Wednesday next week. Some stuff going on, isn't there, here? But the good thing is this fixes, or the whole point of this is that it solves the Gampos Central intercity length problem, because now we've got platforms that are long enough at every single station on the Central Main Line, almost. Well, they're fine at Paynton. Mag Hull is now the issue. You need to double check what Mag Hull gives us for the through services and long platforms. So a bit of thought needs to be done. I suspect Mag Hull is going to need yet another slight tweak to pull these platforms in to extend them a bit so that radius issue is solved. But once that's done, we're cooking on gas. Yeah, how exactly are we going to get those long... We need to get... So Mag Hull requires some more thought. But other than Mag Hull, Rugeley's sorted. So obviously those trains all pull into that city anyway. We did just rebuild Mag Hull, yeah. But did we build it for long enough platforms? That's the key question. Because sometimes these things don't get planned so well. At the moment it's long enough for 200. Which actually might be fine for now, actually. I think 200 might actually be fine. Anyway. So it's going to have this weird kink. But actually, from above, it doesn't look too bad, actually, does it? It looks alright. It doesn't look so completely ridiculous. It does pull the station further out the heart of the city, which is a shame. Yeah. Anyway. All that remains for me to do is wave. We got there. There's quite a lot of fun stuff we've done today, and we'll see you next time. Cheerio!